Hi, I'm Barnard with So Beautiful magazine, and I hope you've gotten our new issue number 132, and in there you're going to find a great article on how to embellish sweaters. And there's lots of good ideas in there, but one of them is this sweater. It was just a plain ivory sweater that I picked up for $5 at an Old Navy clearance sale. And I saw this really neat fringy technique at Coldwater Creek, actually, on a sweater that was $110. And I looked at it really closely and I thought, well, oh gosh, I could do that. And I know that you guys say that all the time. But I wanted to show you exactly how we did it, because in the magazine, since it was just a pictorial, we didn't have a lot of room to go into a lot of steps. So we're adding this video to give you a little bit more information. So I'm going to show you how you make this strip of trim that you can put around the edge of your sweater, or even on a jacket or a shirt or anything you want to. Alright, I started off with a piece of silk organza, but you can use a polyester organza. You could use silk, like a China silk or something soft and flexible. This is a little bit stiff, but it's see-through and it's soft, and it makes wonderful little raw edges. I started off with a piece that was about 1 1/4 wide because I'm allowing for some frayed edges on each side. And the first strip will be 1 1/4 inches, and I'll do 2 of those strips. Then I'll do 2 strips that are 1 inch, 2 strips that are 3/4 inch. So I should have about 6 strips. Okay, so what you'll need is a piece of silk organza, or you could use polyester organza, or like a China silk, but you want something that's very thin and lightweight. This is a little crispy, but it gives you great raw edges. Now if you want to go to the trouble to doing not a ravel edge look, but a raw edge look, you may want to cut strips on the bias, and you could do that with any kind of fabric to create this look. Now I have 5 strips that have raw edges, and then the top 2 strips are folded. So I cut the bottom layer 1 1/4 inch to 1 1/2 inch wide, because I'm accounting for some ravel, and then I'm just going to cut it and rip it, which is why I wanted to do it on the straight grain, because it's easy just to tear across and tear yourself up a bunch of strips. So what I want you to do is I'm going to get a little closer shot and show you how this is stacked and worked. Okay, this is what you're trying to achieve. I wanted you to see it up close and see all of these little layers in there, and we have our raw ravelly edges and then our little folded edges. So how you do that is we've already torn a strip from our silk organza that's about 1 1/2 to 1 1/4 wide. We'll cut 2 of those strips, then we'll cut 2 more that are 1 inch wide, and 1 more that is like 3/4 inch wide. And that will be the bottom raw edge layers. The top 2 folded edge layers, you'll need to cut two strips 2 inches wide. So I wanted to show you this strip. Now after you tear all these strips, it's going to look like my bathroom floor, because there's going to be so many little ravelies that are going to come off. And all you need to do is just pull these off, and they'll quit. It'll quit doing this after a while. You see all that? I'm showing you that because I wanted you to be prepared that, oh gosh, there's a lot of strings. And also, these little edges, when you tear it, are going to roll up on you. And I didn't want you to be alarmed by that. You just simply flat iron over it and steam it so that it all spreads out. So each strip needs to be pressed like this, and that's what it looks like this when you tear it, and it looks like this when you iron it. So what you'll do is you'll stack those strips up, and then I used the strip all the way the width of the fabric, and I still needed to do 2 of them because it meets back here at center back. I didn't have enough to go all the way around the sweater, so I had to do 2 long strips. So I had to make a set of this for each side of the sweater. And what I did was I just simply pinned the end of, I stacked the strips up and I pinned the end, and I just slowly, this was my first one, and I pulled it down and I tried to layer it up as neatly as I could, because you're working with a really long strip, and layer them, and then you'll stick a pin in here and you'll move it up, and then you'll layer down about another 5 inches and stick a pin, move it up, and because it's such a long strip, it's going to be a tangled mess, so you just have to do it a little at a time. Once that's all pinned together, you go to the sewing machine and you stitch it right down the middle. Now, I should have done this in white thread to show you, but there is a stitch right down the middle. And then I pressed it actually to fold it so that everything would kind of stick up. And what I ended up with is a nice little strip like this, all sewn together. So we're not going to clip this yet because that would be impossible to sew if you clipped it first. What we do is we place it on the sweater, and when I'm working around the round neckline, and of course a knit sweater is going to stretch out straight like that, but if you've got something that won't, you can clip a little bit on the outside to get that to fit. And once I got to this corner, I had to clip over here to open that up to turn it this way and continue down. I pinned that to my sweater, and then I stitched it down the middle. Once it was stitched down the middle, the strip actually looked like this on the sweater, which is boring and doesn't look that great. But what I did was I came here, and let's just pretend that this is the strip on my sweater, and I just clipped it down like that about every 1/4 of an inch, every 3/8 of an inch to the stitching all the way around, so that I would get these little tags and fluted edges. I'm going to do a little bit more of this and show you how you steam it and press it and fluff it up. Now I'm doing this quickly and loosely. My fingers are in the way, but you see I've cut all that out. Once that's there, it's still a little bit flat, but if you steam it, let that cool just a little bit, and fluff it with your fingers, and smush it, and fluff it. Now you see all those little ravel edges I'm getting. You see how I'm squishing that with my fingers to fluff that up and open up those folds? Now I've got something really pretty and fluffy. Then you can take like a sticky roller and just simply sticky roller off the gibblies off your sweater. But that's how easy it is, and that's the end of it. You may want to dry clean your sweater after that, or hand soak it and hang it up to dry. I wouldn't really put this in the washing machine and dryer because it's just going to continue to ravel. If you used a bias edge to do this, then you won't have a problem with that. So next I'm going to show you how we did the pleated edge one.